Welcome to Kat Sara Yoga. I'm Kat and this is Yogalates for your butt and your hips. We're starting sitting, so you might want to sit up on a block just to give your pelvis a raise, keep your back nice and tall. Just take a moment to let your mind scan over your body, notice how you feel. Shrug your shoulders up to your ears and exhale them down your back, repeating a couple of times. And then with the shoulders away from the ears, we float the arms up and have a few wrist circles. A few in each direction. Relax your arms down and come forward to hands and knees. So we have hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Creases between the wrists and hands are parallel with the front of the mat, lengthening from the crown of your head to your tailbone. Feel your tummy drawing in and your pelvic floor lifted so you feel strong through the core. So we're thinking of the hands, the knees, the tops of the feet all in contact with the mat. Sucking your tummy and lifting your pelvic floor and drawing your shoulders away from your ears. And this engagement of the core is giving us the body control to release the weight from the right knee and the top of the right foot with no wobbles whatsoever. So you're just releasing the weight there. Hands, left knee, top of the left foot stay grounded down, and hopefully no wobbles in the pelvis, and hopefully you can't see my pelvis tilting too much. I've just released the weight from the knee and the top of the foot without wobbling my pelvis. Inhale, suck tummy and lift pelvic floor, and exhale, shine the sole of the right foot up towards the sky. Knee level with the hips, so we're engaging the buttock. Inhale, knee underneath the hip. Exhale, shine the sole of the foot up towards the sky. Inhale, knee glides under the hip. And as your knee glides under, it brushes the floor, so you're not hovering that knee because that would tilt the pelvis. What we want to do is have the body control to rest the knee on the floor without putting weight down. So that's your core coming into play there. Keep going. You can quite strongly flex the ankle, flex the foot, which will engage your hamstring a bit more, which is good because it helps to strengthen it. If that is a bit too much or causes a bit of cramp, then just try to keep the foot more softly flexed, because we do want the sole of the foot to shine up towards the sky. We'll make this the last one and then have a big round into round cat and a flatten into flat cat. And just clarifying that position again, so hands, knees, tops of the feet, tummy sucked in, pelvic floor lifted. Release your weight from your left knee, inhale. And exhale, shine the sole of the foot up towards the sky, tummy sucks in, pelvic floor lifts. Inhale, knee back under the hip. Exhale, inhale. Nice and controlled, keep going. Keep the back of the neck parallel to the floor. Looking straight down at the earth. You might want to exhale out through your mouth, blow the exhale away. Inhale through the nose. Last one, well done. Have a nice big round for the spine. Sink your bottom down into child pose. Have a few circles out for the wrists. Ground your hands. Float back to hands and knees. Inhale. And exhale as you extend your right leg out behind you as if drawing a line in the sand. Tummy stays drawn in, pelvic floor lifted. Grounding down through hands, left knee, top of the left foot. Suck tummy and lift pelvic floor, lifting that leg up to hip height. Inhale and exhale, keeping your pelvis as level as possible, so don't let the right hip rise. We turn to look at the right knee as we draw it in, so a little side crunch for the obliques and also working the outer hips. Keep your knee as high as you can, but not popping up the right hip, that's tough. Inhale, extend, exhale in. Keep going. So that kind of combination of keeping the pelvis flat and level and raising up the right leg, the right knee, is tricky and requires hip flexibility and also strength in the outer hip. So you can see that my right knee is not that high, but hopefully my pelvis is level and I'm working my right knee as high as I can. So exhale, little side crunch as the knee comes in. Inhale, extend away. 3, 2, keep pushing the floor away gently with your hands. 1, you can do this. Extend away, well done. Rest the foot down, knee under the hip. Big round for your spine. Sink your bottom down. Have a wiggle side to side. Circle out the wrists. Ground your hands down. Float back to hands and knees. Let's do the other side. You can do this. Tummy sucked in, pelvic floor lifted. Inhale. And exhale, extending the left leg away. Sucking tummy in, lifting pelvic floor. Lift that leg up to hip height. Breathing. You can even just be here for a moment, stretching the toes away. Inhale. And exhale, knee in. Turn to look at the knee. Try to keep the hips level. I know it's tricky. Inhale. Exhale. Five. Keep sucking tummy in, lifting pelvic floor. 4. And if you think your hip might have popped up, every time you come back to this central position, really make sure the pelvis is level. 2. 1 more to go. 1. Well done. Whew, stretch away, drop the foot down. Have a nice round for the spine. Sink your bottom down. Another little wrist circle and stretch. Slowly rise up to hands and knees. Inhale here. And exhaling, walking your hands over to the right. As far as you're comfortable to go. It doesn't have to be really far. Inhale. And exhale, sink your bottom down, stretch your arms forward. If you want even more stretch for your left side body, you can place your left hand on top of the right. And breathe. Grounding your hands, coming back to hands and knees, inhaling. Exhale, walking your hands back to center. Inhale, long lengthen spine. And exhale, walking your hands over to the other side. Inhale. Exhale, sinking down, placing your right hand on top of the left. Breathe into your side body. Ground your hands, come back to hands and knees. Walking back to center, inhaling. And exhale, round. Inhale, flatten. Bring your right knee behind the right wrist, a little bit out to the right. Sweep your foot across the midline of your body, as far as you're comfy to go. It doesn't have to be really far. Flex your right foot, so that's important. I know the floor's in the way, but just work the foot into the floor. It's important to protect the knee. If your knee hurts, just come out of this stretch. Sink your hips down low, extending your left leg out behind you. Now the hips don't have to come really low. It's okay if they're quite high. We want them to be level though, so not dropping right hip or left hip. If this is a lot of pressure on your wrist, you can make fists. And remember, any discomfort in that right knee, just come out of this stretch. You can stay like this. It's quite nice because we get a little bit of a tummy stretch and a bit of a hip flexor stretch in the left. It's a bit of a back bend, the king pigeon. And if we want a bit more in the buttock, outer hip, which we do because we've just worked them, if you can, coming forward. And it doesn't have to be a long way forward. You can come to elbows. Maybe you can come further down, relaxing into the floor. Deep breaths into your right hip and buttock. Walking your hands back, grounding your hands down underneath your shoulders. Push the floor away. Inhaling, hands and knees. Exhale, big round. And inhale, hands and knees. Exhaling, left knee comes behind left wrist, sweeping your foot across the midline of the body, flexing your foot as much as you can, sinking your hips down, stretching out through the back toes. Lift your heart, roll your shoulders back. King pigeon with his chest puffed forward as you press your hips forward too. Hip flexor stretch, tummy muscle stretch. And slowly lowering forward. If you can, if you want to. And breathing here. Keep feeling your shoulders drawing down your back, so no tension in the shoulders or the neck. Walking your hands back towards you, grounding the hands down, push the floor away, coming back to hands and knees. Inhale here and exhale, big round. Sink your bottom down into child pose. Maybe a few little circles for the rest. Suck your tummy in, lift the pelvic floor, slowly roll up to sitting. Bring your bottom to the floor, using the strength of your arms to lower yourself down by your side. Roll over to your back, give your knees a hug, gently rock side to side. When you're ready, placing your feet down to the earth. Ground them down, lift your bottom, shift it to the left, let your knees fall to the right. Enjoy this reclined twist for a few moments. When you're ready, coming back to the center, giving your knees a hug in, a little rock side to side. Bring your feet to the earth, ground them down, lift your bottom, shift it to the right, place it back down, let your knees fall to the left. Shuffling the left hip underneath the right, arms out to shoulder height, palms up. Bring everything back to center, give your knees a hug in. Slowly roll to your side and use the strength of your arms to come up to sitting. Come into a cross-legged seat. Notice how you feel. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.